What should you learn in an AI certification? What should it cover so that you know that it's worth it and it's going to get you the results that you need? There are two sort of buckets of things to evaluate when trying to consider what you should learn in a certification. Part of it is what you should learn, the content coverage. The other thing to look for, though, is how you're going to learn, which is the learning approach. When we think about content coverage, there's a few things you can look for to quickly evaluate an AI certification. The first thing is that the topic is covered comprehensively. For example, if there's one 5-minute video on tone of voice, that's really not going to be in-depth enough for you to really create a strong tone of voice with AI. You want to make sure that the topics are covered at a depth and breadth that is meaningful for the subject matter. What I would look for here is the learning objectives of the program, how long it is, as well as how much time is spent on the topics I care most about. What I want to see in a certification, though, is that it's not just covering random areas. It's a comprehensive learning path that's building on topics to move me from A to B. The second thing that I would look for is that the content is practical and not theoretical. So many people waste their time on theoretical content that they can't even apply to their jobs. What's the value in that? You might be able to talk the talk, but you're not going to be able to walk the walk. Make sure that it's practical content and not just theory. Ways you can do this is by looking at whether or not they include product demos. Is there instructor support who can help you to apply what you're learning? Do they give you templates and tools to implement your learnings? Or are they just giving you information? This will help you to understand if there's practicality behind it or if it's maybe more theory or broad ideas. What you don't want to waste your time on is an AI certification that talks about ideas without giving you those tangible and practical tips, demonstrations, and tools to implement what you're learning. You'll also want to make sure that the certification has clear learning objectives and that these objectives match your personal goals. Look at whether or not the learning objectives are a fit for what you would like to get out of the program. Depending on your level, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you may choose a different type of certification, and you'll know which one is right for you by evaluating the learning objectives and tying those back to your personal goals. The other thing you'll want to make sure of is that it works within your AI toolkit, and it's not just showing you a whole bunch of shiny objects that you're realistically not going to pay for. You don't want to have 1 million subscriptions in order to be using AI effectively. And guess what? You don't need to. Well, yes, it's helpful when they cover different tools so you understand what's out there and how different things work. You want to make sure that the program works with the AI tools you actually use. At Bootcamp Digital, we make a real point to make sure that our AI training is tool agnostic, meaning it works on the major AI platforms, whether you're using Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. All of these tools work very similarly, and our training is universal across the elements of these platforms. Make sure you're choosing something that is relevant for your own AI toolkit. And finally, look for something that has high quality, strategic and tactical foundational materials, not hacks or shiny objects. So much of the AI content I see is about making a video of yourself walking through Times Square with a dragon, or some templated AI hack that allegedly you can copy and paste to get some output. The truth is, this is not how AI works. And if you're looking at a certification, you should be looking to build AI muscle, not copy and paste random prompts that, by the way, will probably not get you good results anyways. Look for serious strategic ideas of how they teach, implement, and get results from AI versus getting drawn into shiny objects. That's how to evaluate the content. Next, you're going to want to look at the learning approach. And as you're looking at the learning approach, you'll be able to see if it's going to teach you the right things. The point of the learning approach when evaluating an AI program is to say, is this approach likely to grow my skills or only transfer knowledge? So first, you want to look for an AI program that primarily focuses on live demonstrations. Live demonstrations and showing the tools in action is really key here. Flipping through PowerPoint slides or talking theoretically about what you can do or showing static screenshots is not going to cut it here. You need to be seeing these tools in action to understand them, how they work, and how to optimize them. The second thing to look for in the learning approach is, do they have repeatable methods or random ideas? A lot of trainings and certifications focus on somebody who knows a topic telling you about it. The challenge with that is oftentimes these are random ideas of things that worked for them, but they're not well thought out and packaged into repeatable methods that you can then go and use. Look for repeatable methods and frameworks that are proven that you can apply. The next thing to look for is proven templates versus suggestions. A lot of trainings that I've seen involve someone showing kind of what worked for them here and there. And again, it's a lot of different sort of ideas and tips jumbled together. This isn't going to comprehensively grow your skill set and that muscle strength you need to be a great AI user. Instead, what you need is proven templates, where you're actually given things that you can then go and use to improve the results you're getting from AI. You also want to look for opportunities or requirements to apply what you're learning. The goal of a certification is to demonstrate skill in something, and the value is that it covers something comprehensively and it says, you know how to do this. Well, if a certification doesn't have opportunity or requirement for demonstration, the practicality is at question. And so I would question the learning approach there, because you want to be learning from a certification organization that focuses on giving you opportunities for application and feedback on those applications through instructor support. Essentially, what this all comes down to is you want to make sure that you're learning how to use AI in a realistic and practical way. You don't want hype or AI hacks. You want to learn the strategies and tactics that will teach you results that give you outcomes that are meaningful to you, not prompt swipe files that don't actually work, that you can't even copy. You want to be learning what it takes to be an exceptional AI user that drives results. And that's what to look for in a strong AI program.